We're talking about heroes like FDNY Battalion Chief Joseph Pfeifer, who was on a routine call in Lower Manhattan the morning of September 11th. He watched as that first plane crashed into the North Tower and jumped right into action. Chief Pfeifer, retired from the FDNY 4 years ago, but in true form, continues his work in counterterrorism and emergency preparedness. He'll be speaking tomorrow at the UN Global Congress of Victims on Terrorism. And Chief Pfeifer joining us right here on the Pigside Morning News this morning. So good morning to you, Chief. Thank you for being here once again.
Good morning. It's good to see you again.
Chief, always a pleasure to talk to you. But 21 years later, and it continues to be an emotional week for those of us who lived through the terror attacks. Just yesterday, we had a young woman on whose father died, and now she's written a book that she would like to teach the younger generation about September 11th. How do you prepare for a day like Sunday?
Today, you know, I think of Sunday as taking those memories from my heart and putting it into my conscious thought. And to think about my firefighters running up to save thousands of people. And it's a special moment that I have as I stand at the memorial site on Sunday.
I think so many of us are going to be reflecting in a very similar way, whether we're downtown or whether we're taking time to remember that day and how it impacted us, the lives that we lost, the loved ones that we lost. You were one of the first firefighters to arrive on the scene. You turned the lobby of the North Tower into a command center. It was all captured on film, as we just showed. You know, being so very present in that moment, how do you continue to move forward from that?
Well, I think that moment, and certainly on the 21st anniversary, we reflect on the past and what took place that day, and our memories of especially people watching it on TV. But we also envision the future, the future of a society that confronts terrorism, and a society that supports its victims. So I think this is a combination of sadness when we look back, but also of hope for the future.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, Chief, your brother Kevin, also a firefighter, did not make it out of the North Tower. I've spoken to you about this over the years, and you talked about how he stopped to get other firefighters to safety in your book, Ordinary Heroes, which, by the way, everybody should read. It's an incredible read. Can you please, for those who don't know, share the story with us of your brother?
On 9/11, I met my brother, who came in, reported into me in the lobby of the North Tower. And we looked at each other, wondering if we were both going to be okay. And then I told him to go up to evacuate and rescue people. And when he turned around and took his engine company 33 upstairs, that was the last time I saw my brother Kevin. But when he heard my evacuation order after the first tower collapsed, after the South Tower collapsed, as he was coming down the stairs, he stopped and redirected firefighters and people to a safer stairs. And we know from people that made it out that those simple words, to move to a different stairs, saved their lives.
You know, it's so hard to wrap our heads around taking that pledge so seriously, to save others' lives, to put others' lives ahead of our own. We thank you and your brother Kevin, and of course the countless others, for their service on this day. The 9/11 anniversary is also significant because it marks a deadline of sort for some first responders and volunteers who were down at that site to apply for a portion of those benefits, namely the workers' compensation benefits. Can you talk a little bit about that, as that deadline is right on top of people at this point in time?
That is so important that people apply for those benefits. And within the New York City Fire Department, since 9/11, we lost more than 280 people from post-9/11 diseases. So people are still suffering 21 years later, and having those benefits are important to our victims, our growing number of victims, and for their families.
Yeah, we're paying very close attention to that deadline, making sure that everybody knows about the deadline as well. And Chief, I want to talk about tomorrow's global conference at the United Nations, where you will be a featured speaker. Who will be in attendance tomorrow, and what do you really hope comes out of this?
In the attendance tomorrow will be victims of terrorism throughout the world, and I'll be speaking. And what I'll talk about is that as victims, we do not hide our pain. Instead, we turn it into a purpose to bring about change, to speak against terrorism, support its victims, and to make our society what we want it to be, a unified effort of kindness to people throughout the world.
Just incredible. Chief Pfeifer, we thank you for your service at all levels, retired from the FDNY for years now, but continuing to feel all that you want to do. And of course, we give our sincerest condolences over the loss of your brother, and to all viewers, the losses of people that touch their lives. The book, Ordinary Heroes, available wherever books are sold. And of course, tomorrow speaking at the United Nations. Thank you.
Chief, thank you. Always a pleasure and an honor to talk to you. Seriously, I've spoken over the years, and you've just always are very touching and moving with what you say.